They've been 99 cents for a while.
On God. For real. Welcome back to the Lunch Table Podcast. I'm Brett.
I'm Trey.
I'm Louie.
And I'm Jaden.
Currently, we're running a four-man podcast, which if you tuned in the last episode, we had a brief four-man podcast. It's debatable on if our setup can actually support that, but we'll find that out. We have our sound effects guy, Trey, who so far during our previous recording just said on God the whole time. So
4 times to be
yeah.
exact.
On God.
But today we're going to be talking about some deep thoughts. Thoughts that go hard. Jay has his notes app open, which is slightly concerning in some ways, but he's got some thoughts to share with us.
You know, I just be thinking sometimes. Trey, why do you have your hand raised?
I would like to debate if Pluto's a real planet.
No.
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 All right.
He was very easily won over. All right, Jay, give us your first thoughts.
Share some thoughts, Jaden.
Share your
All
thoughts.
right. The burden of desire easily finds itself implicated alongside pain.
Can you explain that one?
I can. So, the more you desire as a person, the more you want and you see less of what you have. So that brings pain. If
I think
you
it's
cannot
valid.
get what you desire.
He reminds me of Beck off of Victorious. Like, you know that scene where he was like reciting a poem
Yeah.
and like he just looks all mysterious and stuff?
Yeah.
That's Jaden right now.
Jay
Like,
wears a
he's
turtleneck at school every single day
and
and contemplates in the schoolyard.
yeah, he contemplates.
All right,
No,
they're
I
kind of
think-
spitting on my image right now. I have never worn a turtleneck.
He has a turtleneck on right now.
I don't know
No,
what
I
he's talking
don't.
about. But
I think turtlenecks
anyway,
are actually one of the best things a man can wear.
Deep thought.
That
All
goes
right,
hard.
Trey,
That's a deep thought.
That's a deep thought.
But anyway,
Okay.
I think that's valid, though. I think that frequently we search for things.
What about puffer
that-
jackets?
You're
He was talking
you're a
about
bad
what he
addition.
said.
Oh,
But yeah. I think the more that we want something, the more that we bring ourselves pain trying to acquire it. You know?
I think so too. The more you desire something, the more you're willing to go through and get over to achieve that thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
Yeah.
agree.
That's very agreeable, Jen.
On God.
Give us one more.
Give us another.
You want another?
Give us
Yeah.
another.
Y'all ready for this one?
Yeah.
I don't know if you are. It's rejection bruises those who especially want to be desired.
I agree.
Well, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, kind of literal almost. It's like if you get rejected, you're not gonna want to get rejected. Obviously, if you went out to get something to put yourself in a situation where you could get rejected, you obviously wanted that thing and had some sort of desire for it. So I think that's a dumb one.
Yeah.
That's a L take.
I mean,
Actually
You
think
gotta
rejection,
think about it
I
in
mean-
different implications.
it's a pretty obvious one, right? It's a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
obvious
pretty
one.
like
But I think I'd argue that I think it, even though it's obvious, I think it needs to be said. You know,
Yep.
I think it just needs to be put out there. You
Okay.
It's
know,
the hard truth.
because I mean, yeah, some people they don't have to care as much about rejection, but a lot of people out there that truly are after something, rejection is hard.
Okay. So
I think it needs to be said.
see, it's from person to person. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with that. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I think rejection makes people stronger.
It does. It does. I think it's very easily to make that connection between rejection and bettering yourself.
Yeah, it also depends on the person there too, because sometimes people, if they get rejected, they just let it get to them. You know, like getting the mental.
Start thinking about it a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do
For real.
wrong? You know.
Brett, what's a deep thought you got?
It's a deep thought that I got. I think that, you know, in high school, everybody's concerned, you know, with schoolwork, extracurricular activities, work, things like that. I feel like high school, while you shouldn't just sit there and do nothing the whole time, I feel like you shouldn't like waste your whole high school experience with doing like all this stuff all the time. What do you think?
I agree.
All of what stuff?
So like
Specifically?
schoolwork, extracurriculars, and work. I think you should have like a healthy balance, but I don't think you should waste like your whole high school life doing that, because this is the only time you have that. You know, like your group of friends from your hometown. You know, the people that you enjoy hanging out with, the stuff that you enjoy doing just for fun. I mean, I think you should still work and do all that, but I think you should really enjoy this period of time.
Yeah, you can't take this time for granted, and everybody wants to grow up. You know what I'm saying? But until you actually grow up, which is a fact, Say on God for me, Trey. Be my ad lib.
On God.
Exactly. So, forgot what I said just now.
Yeah, I'm gonna build off what you said, Louis.
All right.
It's just high school. Too many people take too many things seriously, like relationships, friends, your work, your GPA.
See,
Like live a little.
you can live
It's
a little.
not. It's not that deep. Like high school is important. Yes, take the time to have those life, like build in life. You gotta learn in high school. Don't be afraid to make those mistakes you got.
See, I think the best teacher in life is lessons you learn from things you do.
Experience.
Right? Experience, right? You got to experience everything that you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? You got to try everything, do all that. And if you just single yourself into, going to high school, playing whatever sport you play, and then just doing that, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Like, you're doing your little high school experience, but you got to broaden your horizons,
Yeah. I think I'm saying that because I'm reflective now because I'm heading out this summer. But I don't know. That was a thought that was on my head.
How do you feel about leaving this being your senior year and this being your final semester of high school?
I mean,
going into adulthood at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it may be just because of COVID, but I felt like it was just yesterday that I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. I don't know.
I bet it is, man. I'm my freshman year of high school, it was COVID year, right? So after COVID year, I went straight to a sophomore, and I was like, okay, cool. This is a long time. I get to do this for a little bit. I'm a junior and I'm about to be a senior, and I could graduate before this time next year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It is crazy. COVID took a lot of time from us. And,
Yeah, a lot.
I agree.
And at times, I still feel young. I still feel like a freshman. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
In some certain aspects, I'm like, dog, where did all the time go? I
Like
was
that, like the one song.
Like that one song.
Yeah, the Walters. So wear it all the time. I mean, that song. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I love that song.
It's a good input there, Trey. It's better than your usual on God, and I agree.
On God.
Trey,
What
Trey.
can I say? I'm a man of one word, a man of one simplicity. It's only one way you can live life, you know?
I'm pretty
Is
sure.
that a deep take, though? That's a question.
What?
What you just said.
And one way you can live life, the only way you like it.
2 phrases. That's all you have.
What?
A man of simplicity? I don't know. I don't know. I
Wow.
feel that's just a way to live.
I mean, we're okay.
Can I
So,
say? Little.
you know what I'm saying?
How about we just analyze? How about we just psychoanalyze Trey right now?
Okay, so Trey, right? He's always smiling, but
He's got a smile.
he's smiling, I think, to hide his true feelings, his true intentions, and the things he's feeling behind those big, beautiful brown eyes, and those. But Trey's always been a nice guy to me, right? Until he said I look like an Angry Bird. He's doing a little dance right now.
No, I'm not.
See, he has like a shroud of a shroud of darkness around him. He shrugs off with this occasional "on God" or "I agree."
Yeah.
I feel like you got some stuff brewing in there.
No cap.
Do you share with us a thought, a deep thought, this-
Like a thought that you
somber
actually
brain.
pondered on for a while. And like you can't get to the bottom of
Something
that
you've
one.
always wanted to ask, but you just have not had the.
I have one.
Is
actually.
life worth living?
Yeah, I don't like that one at all.
I like
Oh, wow.
I have one though.
Oh.
I have one though.
Okay.
So I don't really know how to say it out of put it in words as like a smart sounding quote. You know what I'm saying? I can use an example, basically. So pride, right?
Mhm.
If someone does you wrong, right,
Yep.
and you you don't let. Okay, so okay, so someone does you wrong, right? And and they say if you don't let it go, then you're only hurting yourself because whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How y'all feel about that?
I feel
pretty
that's
strongly.
kind of true. I feel like it's a mental game and stuff like that. You know, if you let something get to you for too long, then it just affects you more than anybody.
So what's this, let's say they did you wrong, and you know what I'm saying, you thought about it, and you know what I'm saying, it hurts your pride or whatever, right?
Mhm.
You can get over it and still not
hurt your pride.
hurt your pride.
Yeah,
Is that what you think?
I think so.
I agree. Like, you gotta forgive, not forget. And some people don't deserve forgiveness. You don't give your forgiveness to yourself, not to yourself, to them, but you give it to yourself. So whatever had hurt you, even if it's an outside source, you forgive it on the inside instead of going to somebody for forgiveness, because you don't really need the validation of outside sources to feed the inside of you when that's all you.
So, what for you determines whether you should forgive somebody or not?
I try to forgive people in all situations, but if they do me wrong or they do something I don't like or treat me a certain way, I'm gonna try to understand. There's a lot of things that you can't really do that with because it's other people's thoughts, and you can't really control the way they think or their actions at all. So you just gotta have the right reactions to other people's actions since you can't control that.
I completely agree. I think the way you react to how people treat you determines your character a lot. You said, what did you say? I don't remember what you said. I had something smart to say, but I lost it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just read one of your notes. Friction will always exist in what they
In what they want and what you want.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me try to read it again because he had a spelling error and that's why he interrupted me. Friction will always exist in what they want and what you want. Go ahead and explain that one for me.
Explain that one? Alright, so there's a large sum of people, everyone else in the world other than you is they or them. What they want is going to be drastically different than what you want in most areas and aspects of life because we're all living an individual life. So some people may be thinking like, oh, this is what's right for your situation looking on the outside in, but what you want or may need is totally different than what all of these other people think, even though they think they understand you.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you boil down to it, I mean, whether they're in the right place or not, everybody's kind of looking out for themselves in some way, in some quantity. You know, some people put other people's priorities in front of their own, but I think everybody looks out for themselves in some way.
Everybody, in general, is at the pursuit of their own peace, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I know I am.
Yeah, I know you are, Trey. I think. Okay. What do y'all think about if something interrupts your pursuit of happiness or makes you feel some type of way at any time? Do you think you should get rid of that aspect of your life, or do you think that you should work with it and try to still pursue your own happiness while still having that defecting factor in your life? Or
Do you mean it like prevents you from being able to do what you want to do, or if it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of
not totally prevent, but
Yeah.
but somehow does a little bit of the opposite.
It's like holding you back in certain aspects.
Yes.
I think it depends. I mean, I think that change is good sometimes. It may be hard to get used to. You know, maybe you need to, relationships, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, if a relationship may not be exactly on the path that you originally had, but you're invested in it, I think it's worth it to pursue something that may not 100% be what you thought you wanted. But
Okay. So you're saying if you're, let's go back to your example of relationships and stuff like that. You're at your pursuit of happiness, let's say you're working out, you're eating good, you make yourself look good. I think that making myself look good makes me happy and confident, and it makes me, like a happier person and a better person all around, I think, when I feel confident, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm at the pursuit of that and I have a girlfriend, right, and I'm not feeling as confident as I was, I
think it's a meet in the middle kind of thing. If it starts affecting you in a way that you just don't like it, or you don't like the person you become as a result of it, I think that's when outside influences may not be as good. What do you think, Jay? You look like you want to say something.
Oh, I'm pondering that. Yeah, and I have like it's a
It's a
I went
tough
through
one.
something
It's kind of a
similar.
tough one.
Yeah, there's like some aspects that you kind of got to tough it out, or you got to get that other person.
Yeah,
or
because
other
you're not
thing in your
going
life
to always get what you want.
to adjust, or you have to adjust, because like talking about jobs, like you kind of have to adjust for your job.
Yeah.
You may not like it, but you still got to do it because you got to have an income some sort of way. But like friends or relationships, I think they're a lot more disposable than other things in life because currently we're in high school. A lot of things that we have now and a lot of people we know now, we're not going to know in 5 years. They're not going to be there once we get our diploma out of high school or out of college. And recently, like, things happen, so I may not have the same friends that I used to, or people may think of me differently, but it wasn't benefiting me. Those people were not benefiting me. They were not making me who I wanted to be, and they were just taking me in the opposite direction of where I wanted to be. So sometimes you just really gotta let go of that, and people may dislike you. They may think you're fake or you're a snake or something like that, but you're not. If you're doing what's best for you and what you need, that's what's right in life, because you can't live other people's lives. If they need you in their life, they're gonna try to benefit you if you're actually that needed.
An important thing is that people are going to do what they want to do. You can't make anybody do anything,
That's true.
right? So if people are, you know what I'm saying? I have another thing about this, kind of a little complex over here. Thanks, Trey. Man, I thought I did. I don't anymore. Okay, actually, yes, I do. So, for example, pretend, okay, so, all right, this has another thing that has to do with your pursuit of happiness and your peace as a human, right?
Mhm.
If what makes you confident, right, is the amount of female attention that you get, right, and you get in a relationship and you start to lose confidence because you're only getting that one female attention,
Mm-hmm.
are you the problem at that point because you're feeling your confidence and happiness from other people's, or should you get out of that relationship?
See, I think at that
So-
point it's like it's
Yeah.
subjective for each person, you know, because I mean, different people think different things about that. You know, different people have different goals, right? Some goals are worse, or morally on a scale could be worse than others, right? But in your eyes, that's just what you want. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in a take of like confidence, I don't think it should be dependent on outside variables,
Yeah.
especially with females and or like woman getting woman, because outside validation feels really good, but at the end of the night, when you're looking in the mirror, like before you shower, and you're looking at yourself and no one else is there, it's just you looking at yourself in the mirror. Are you truly happy with what you are and who you are? Or do you need others to build you up?
Yeah.
So you think that you should find that happiness within yourself first before getting into anything with anybody else?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you gotta love yourself, right?
Yeah,
You have
if
to love yourself.
if you're incapable of loving yourself, you can't really love somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand your own love languages, if you don't understand what makes you whole and what makes you happiest, and how to get that by yourself, because if you're letting worth be decided on what other people want of you or think of you, that changes all the time. People come and go in your life so frequently. Like, I think most of us have not kept friends for more than 10 years. Like, we may have like a handful, but think about how many people we've met over the last 10 years of your life, and think about how many people have stayed in your life for that entire period of time.
How many people have been there since you were coming up and now you are who you are and now they don't like it and they leave, right? And you can't
Exactly.
sit there and dread on it because you gotta have your own self-happiness and worth is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
I like
it's on the outside, things can seem one way, but it's like Instagram. People post the best parts of their life all the time, and you may look at their life and be jealous, like, dang, I wish I had what they had. But you don't know how the behind the scenes of their life looks. Like, they may have like a bad home life, or they may just not really like themselves. And these type of things happen all the time. People portray themselves of having the best life they can to the outside public and like Instagram, but on the inside they're really unhappy with their life, and they don't know they don't know like what to do every night, so they go to sleep like feeling unaccomplished, even though so many other people are jealous of what they have and how their life is on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes into another thing. Just one thing that you mentioned about the way you portray yourself, right? One thing that I thought about, just for no reason really, the other day is like how we present ourselves to other people, whether it be to the public, whether it be to people that we're invested in, right? Do you think it's better to portray your best self or your true self? Because personally, I think that there's just like a culture that you need to present your best self to whoever. Which, I mean, your best self is good in some ways, right? But I feel like it's become an obsession for most people, you know?
I think that's because people want their true self to be their best self. Right?
Yeah.
So
Conformity.
they're gonna portray themselves as how they want to be seen, which is gonna be the best they can possibly be seen as. Right? I want to be seen as funny. You know what I'm saying? Attractive,
Yeah.
loving, like all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be perceived as an, a rude guy, or there's other words to describe that.
Yeah.
And I think that some people think I portray that more than I wish to. Right?
Yeah.
I wish they did.
See, I think there's like, I mean, let's say that you're on like a first impression with somebody. You know, it's not like you.
First date, maybe.
Yeah, let's say first date scenario, right? There's some stuff that naturally you wouldn't do that like the real you would do, right? Because
Yeah,
that's comfortable. You know, you got to get comfortable with the person. But I think that we should spend more time showing our true selves than what we think is the right thing, the quote unquote right thing to say or do. I feel like you just end up a little bit more boring, honestly.
Yeah, like Trey said earlier, I heard him say this. He said social conformity.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that now. A lot of people want this certain look, this certain vibe. They want to listen to these certain type of music to fit in with others.
Yeah, they want people
And
to perceive them.
they're not that though.
Yeah.
So I don't care who calls me weird or thinks of me like as not popular or whatever, or like, oh, he looks this way, so he probably acts this way. I'm just who I am, and I show that to all the people. Like, in certain cases, it's a first impression or like a job interview, so you have to be really presentable, really respectable. But I feel like I treat everybody the same way. Like, I don't judge people off their looks. Like, internally, there's always like a first thought of somebody. You can't help that, but don't let that stop you from finding out who somebody is. And in a relationship, at first you try to look your best for that person, like a first date, and then you keep going out with them, and then as you get comfortable with each other, that's when you can like relax with your looks a lot, or relax with how you portray your emotions. Like,
Start to show your, true self, stop being so, taken away. More, be more true to them, like more real, more authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're more of who you actually are after you got comfortable with them, and now you feel comfortable enough to show them the real you, because right?
yeah, and I think that the real you and the you that you portray to other people shouldn't be so disassociated as many people in the world have it right now.
Yeah.
Because you meet somebody and they could be very charming at first. They seem to be like one of the best people you've ever met in your life. And you get to know them, and slowly over time, they become rude. And it just turns fake, and everything becomes like, what's that word that means you only want something for like the outside value, or like objects? It's like materialistic.
Yeah,
Things become
materialistic.
materialistic in the way things are portrayed, or for many in high school, like what substances you can do, or what crazy things you could do, what places you can go to, things like that. I feel like relationships and friendships shouldn't be necessary based off of that. It should be off of what you as a person and as a human and emotionally and physically can provide for somebody and build with each other on.
I think the topic of what is it?
Materialistic.
Materialistic things. I think that topic really is a good breaking point or breakthrough for like human psychology and stuff like that. I think that people want to look like what Brad and Jen were saying. People want to look like what they think people want to see, right?
Yeah.
But the people closest to you, the people that genuinely like know you, they want to see you and have you act how you actually are around them. They don't want any sugarcoating or any differences or you changing them, change yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want that.
Yeah, I think in a world where information, advertisements, and materials are so easily accessible and find their way into our heads all the livelong day, 24/7, 365, I think the most infectious disease in our society today is peer pressure and conformity with everyone else, I would argue. Because now, everybody across the globe knows what's going on everywhere across the globe. Trends, things that people just enjoy, period, are heavy influencers on the way that we think. If something goes trendy, it means that a bunch of people are going to follow suit, right?
Yeah.
And that's not only with things that are materials. That's not only with clothes. It's not only with watches. It's not only with hats, sunglasses, whatever. It's with their personalities.
Yep.
It's with everything. And I think it can be a slippery slope. I think it can be just straight up dangerous for people's personalities to be affected this way.
Yeah, because a personality is a person's, it should be yours.
Yeah.
Not what
You think people want to see.
everyone wants to see or what's cool now. Like, who you are is who you are. What you enjoy is what you enjoy. It shouldn't change based off of, what's popular now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I completely agree with both of you.
Well,
On God.
I also agree.
God.
On God.
So does anybody else have any
That was deep.
burning questions?
I think that was good. I think we got real deep with that one.
Yeah,
I think we did.
I think that the relationship topic was a great topic. I'm glad we get to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we get to talk about that. And I've always needed second opinions on things. I always ask people for their opinion on things, but sometimes I think that what I think for myself is what I should do rather than, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I have a friend, right? His name's Baron, and I'll ask him for advice, and he won't give me advice, but he'll say, "Listen, bro, you're gonna do what you want to do, no matter what. So think about it hard for yourself. You can take second opinions, but don't take advice."
Yeah. Yeah. You're the only one who can
Because
make your decisions.
You're the only one that's making that decision. You're the only one going through what you're going through. So you have to make your own decisions. You can ask for advice or other opinions, but you shouldn't ever solely go off somebody else's advice.
Yeah.
Drake said that. He said, "Don't ever take advice. That was great advice."
Well,
Think about that one. Don't
think about
ever
that one.
take advice.
I love
That's
Audrey.
great advice.
I'm done.
well, on that note, I'm Brett,
I'm Trey.
I'm Louie.
And I'm Jaden.
and we'll catch y'all next time. See you later.